Hello, my name is Danny, and I'm the founding product manager here at Sybill. Today, I'm very excited to introduce Ask Sybill, our latest release. Ask Sybill is a full-fledged AI assistant for sales teams, be it a sales rep or a sale manager or any adjacent function even. I use it a lot as a product manager, and I'll show you in a second how I use it. You can ask Sybill anything about a meeting, about a deal, about a set of deals, about historical deals, about upcoming deals, or even about a specific rep and the work that they're doing within Sybill. And it will pull information from your meetings, from any of your connected emails, and soon it will have additional sources, for example, Slack or Teams. I want to demonstrate to you how Ask Sybill works and just scratch the surface of what it can do. And I also want to show you how to use it and some of the ways that I like to use it. To start, you can access Ask Sybill from anywhere within the product. So one thing you'll notice is this bar at the top that says Ask Sybill about your team's meetings or deals, like finding competitor mentions. So we give you an example of what you can ask. If you click on that, you might see suggested prompts even, and these might be catered to your role. For example, what are the key learnings from last week's calls? Common concerns raised by customers recently. Create a report of what's working and what's not working in our discovery calls. These are the kinds of questions that sales teams or even product teams could be interested in. Again, you can access that from anywhere within the product, just because we want you to be one step away from the wealth of information that can be summarized for you and to be made useful for you by Ask Sybill. I like to go to Ask Sybill in the navigation bar here. Click on that, it'll take you to a new chat. You can also see all of your previous chats with Ask Sybill. You can minimize that drawer or even expand it. If you minimize it, you can again access a new chat by just clicking on this icon. And let's go ahead and try a question. For example, what can we learn from closed won and closed lost deals in the past quarter? What common objections do each of our reps come up against, and how can they handle those better? Apologies for all the typos. And I'm going to let it run. It might take a little bit of time. In this case, it'll say that it's thinking. It'll soon show me exactly what it's doing. So it'll show me that it's fetching closed deals, both won and lost from the past quarter, Q1 2025, to analyze patterns and objections. This could take potentially up to 30 seconds, sometimes even longer, just depending on the amount of information that it has to sift through in order to generate an answer. What I'm hoping it will do, and we'll see if it does that in a second, is that it will actually generate a report for me. Once it does, I can keep having conversations with it, ChatGPT style or Claude style or whatever you use. I can also work directly in the report, and I'll show you an example of a report that I like to generate in a second. And I can export all of this information, share it with my team members, share it with my boss. There's truly anything that you can do with this tool. Perhaps while it does that, maybe I'll go to some of my historical conversations and show you what I've asked. Actually, there we go. It's ready. So now you can see, based on the analysis of closed deals from Q1 2025, here are the key insights about objections and recommendations. And it has common objections, it has recommendations for better handling, and actually put all of that for me in a report here on the right. And you'll see, for example, for us, budget and pricing concerns is one, technical integration requirements, this always comes up, I always come across this as a product manager, team adoption and readiness, sometimes it's not the right time to engage. And then you can see some best practices and recommendations for how to handle each of these. Handling budget objections, addressing integration concerns, facilitating adoption. It even has success stories and learnings. So here you can see our won deals analysis, key learnings from lost deals, as well as action items for the sales team, immediate, medium, long-term, and a conclusion. I can manipulate this report however I'd like to. I can work directly in here. I can even ask Sybill to actually edit part of a report or maybe modify its answer to part of a report. And then, as I mentioned, I can copy and I can download. One other nifty thing is that you can see the sources that it used for this report. And so you'll see in here all the examined deals and meetings that it used from the last quarter to generate this report. Additionally, it can suggest other prompts that you could ask after the first prompt. and you can give us feedback on whether the answer was helpful or not helpful. Let me show you one of the examples that I use very frequently, which is a prompt that I have created for myself to generate a report for myself as a product manager. It's a little bit more of an extensive prompt, as you can see, but I like to know every week from the previous week's meetings, what are the top missing features that have come up in our sales and our customer success calls? What's working well? What's not working well? What is the competitive landscape most recently? Any other needs or use cases that I haven't thought of that have arisen in the past? And any recommended actions? And I run this report once a week. So you see I ran this exactly a week ago, and it produced the report using data from the prior week. So you can see here the product feedback report, top missing features, what's working well, challenges and dissatisfaction, competitive landscape, new needs and use cases, recommended actions. And finally, the impact on the sales intelligence reimagination. What I do is when I wrote this first prompt, I just saved it. That allows me to give it a name and then save the actual prompt. And that way, every time I want to start a new chat, I just go to Ask Sybill, start a new chat, and I can click on this in order to access my saved prompts. You can also manage your saved prompts in the settings page in the AI Studio, where you see here the Ask Sybill saved prompts. Please play around with this tool. Try to ask it as many things as you can. It'll sometimes make mistakes. It's not perfect yet, but please give us as much feedback as you can, as it will help us further improve and evolve this amazing feature. Thank you.